This clip was long in the making. It has been brewing for a while. I wrote it down. I didn't really want to do it, but yesterday I was talking to a master interpreter from Russia, and I said, what clip should I do? And he said, without hesitation, AI versus human. So here we go, AI versus human. Let me get my rapier, my sword, and somebody can bring me a computer, and we'll have a duel right here in front of the Minneapolis sort of skyline. But let me philosophize. I'm not necessarily the expert on AI. I do not use it profusely. I do not use it too much, but I think that the points and pointers that I will give in this clip will be useful, at least as far as the viewpoint and philosophy of it. And actually, my friend said, when are we finally going to get replaced? I can't say that I'm absolutely crazy about this phrasing, and my linguistically artistic answer is the most emphatic: never. Whether or not that's ever going to happen on the market is a slightly different story, and it actually depends on you and me and all the other translators and interpreters out there. But let me back up a little bit and give you a few examples, okay? Because obviously the machines are getting better and better. There's GPT chat, and they're not as ridiculous as they were 10, 20 years ago. 10, 20 years ago, you could put in the simplest of texts and you would get balderdash on the other end. Today you get semi-balderdash or whatever. But there are things that machines will never be able to do. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine from Russia who coaches young men on dating and romance and that whole field sent me a clip that was interpreted by AI, and it even sort of matched his voice tone. And he's very, very proud, and he actually is pretty fluent in English, and he says, look what it did. And I listened skeptically, and I said, it's not bad. But in that 1 minute, the artificial interpreter made one crucial mistake. In Russian, we have the word девушка, which means girl or girlfriend, depending on the context. So he was saying, here you are sitting with a girl in a cafe, and AI interprets, here you are sitting with your girlfriend in the cafe. Huge difference about your actions, about your viewpoint, about your tactics, and so forth. That is a very, very crucial difference. I've made this experiment actually in my book, Translation Essays. I think I have an essay called Mr. Googlovsky or something like that. Now, it is getting better, and that's what a lot of colleagues are sometimes wary of. Like, eventually it will get so good that it will get as good as human translators and interpreters. Not so. Maybe in very dry, standard, patterned, legal or other technical documents, yes, where, you know, translation software is useful and where it saves former translations and so on. But if it's anything artistic, if it requires puns, if it requires true thinking, if it requires wordplay, I don't think so. Moreover, there's one thing that we have that AI doesn't have by definition. You don't need me to tell you, but I still will. Pause it, pause the clip if you like. But it's emotion, spirit. We are, whether you don't have to agree with me, we are spiritual beings in material bodies. We have something, that spirituality, that mind essence, that elan vital, that whatever you call it, that artificial intelligence does not have. And even if it says the right words, it is not necessarily conveying that same emotion. When I'm translating a poem, when the greatest sculptors or painters, Rembrandt, Mozart, were doing their greatest pieces, it wasn't just the right notes, it wasn't just the right strokes, it wasn't just the right rhymes. They put their heart and soul into the piece. It becomes living and breathing. And by definition, that's not something that AI will have. So what is the solution? The solution is be the best interpreter or translator technically that you can be, but also be a thinking one, be a human one. Like, develop all of your skills, the hard skills, the soft skills, and AI will never replace it. Sure, AI can be used. I use AI, you know, if I'm Googling a certain term. Some people use it a lot more by using ChatGPT to create lists to prepare for interpreting assignments, sure. But when it comes down to these more artistic assignments, or even these quote-unquote dry assignments, but where a human touch is required, never, you know? If you're meeting with your beer buddies, would you envision having a cyborg or a robot there in the tavern with you. Well, maybe some people would, but I wouldn't. So that human touch, that artistic touch, will never be replaced. So the solution is be the best you can be. Don't join the army, join the elite translation battalion with me. I'm not worried about AI at all. I just don't even compete with AI. So that's my answer. Your answer might be different. Andre, I hope I answered your question. And be a human translator, but be an expert at the same time. I'll see you guys later.